Mic test. Mic test. All right, back to hyperspace here, and we are back into Microsoft Flight Simulator, back in New York City. It is hot. I haven't put on my tie yet. I'll put it on right now, even though it's hot as hell. Just for my maybe not just for this one, but for my first stream back here, I want to look the part, so we're gonna put on a tie. We're gonna be learning to fly this airplane. You know, when you're learning to fly things and you're out there putting yourself out in the world, it's good to dress the part. You know, it can give you a sense of probably a false. You know, you can see how hot it is, but you're gonna be able to. I haven't put on an undershirt in this. So you're gonna see the sweat marks under my armpits and all that stuff while I'm talking about imbuing a sense of confidence in our in our activities in life here. I hated ties when I was a kid because I had to wear them for like 8 years in the school I used to go to. But now, you know, the flight simulator, once in a while I'll wear one, even though it's not as hot as on the West Coast here in the United States. That's going crazy. But it is pretty hot and humid in New York. I don't know what the temperature is. It's not over 100 degrees Fahrenheit if you're in the crazy North American system. I prefer Celsius. It's not over 40 degrees Celsius, but it is hot and humid compared to Michigan. I came back yesterday. I'm ready to start again, and I was very lucky because while I was gone, I totally forgot about registering for the Paris-Dakar endurance race. Not with cars, but with airplanes that CDL is organizing, has organized. I did the Perth to Australia one before, and the next one is July 3rd at 2 in the morning. It's going to start here in New York City. It's going to start at 8 a.m. in Paris, France. And since in the prior race I used my Cessna 172. I cannot use the same airplane you can only use an airplane in one of the races. Then you have to choose a different airplane for one of the other 3 races that happens throughout the year. 1 race per season. This is going to be the second one, Paris-Dakar, on July 3rd. And for this race, I picked this Diamond aircraft what is it called? DA40-NG. It looks a bit like a glider, like has these thin glider wings, and look how thin the fuselage in the back here behind the cabin is. It's really thin, and it has these elevators on the top of the tail. It really looks like a glider, this thing. It's a very sort of modern construction. It has the little winglets in the back. I don't know why it said, oh, Jet A powered. Okay, it's not jet powered. Timmy, one boss. Welcome to Timmy Thumb here, friend of the stream. Thank you, Timmy. I don't know if you're gonna do this crazy thing. It goes into 4th of July, so I'm gonna, unless a friend of mine here, I mean, most of my friends here in New York City left, you know, so unless a friend of mine here calls me and like, you have to come to the 4th of July party at our place or something, it looks like 4th of July I'm gonna be flying Microsoft Flight Simulator because Amber's in Michigan, I'm here, I haven't streamed for a while. I like to do these races 19 to 20 hour stream. Whoa, I managed to do the other one with Icebird's help, but this is going to be another 19 to 20 hour stream if you have an average of 120 knots. And yeah, not jet powered, Jet A powered. Okay, so it's like an advert for the fuel there. I haven't had time because I've just come back to New York City and I just jumped in here. And do I look a bit like a zombie? Is the color correction on this thing all wrong on my camera? I feel like I look a little bit like a zombie Maybe it's just the way. Tim has. I have other plans. Won't be able to participate. Yeah, that's. I may have to drop out if a friend of mine tells me, hey, you have to, because I don't know if this if a friend of mine is gonna do something or not. But for now, I signed up. I was very lucky that CDL. I was late and I missed the deadline, so I wrote him, and he very kindly let me sign up past the deadline because I had flown on it before, and I totally missed it. I didn't know there was a deadline to sign up like days before. It was like 3 days ago, and I was traveling, so I took. Whoa, airplane arriving here. What's that? It's Iberia, an IBB4241 arriving here. Whoa, and it disappeared. Okay, mystery airplane. This is not Bermuda Triangle. This is Fuerteventura, is an island in the Canaries, which is kind of halfway between Paris and Dakar. I was gonna start in Charles de Gaulle today to try this airplane there. Hey, Danteaka! Good morning to Torino. How are you? But I started in Charles de Gaulle and the weather was horrible, so I decided to pick a place in between Paris and Dakar to learn to fly this airplane that I'm going to be flying for potentially 19 hours, 20 hours. Who knows how long it's going to be. How's the war thundering going, Danteak? And how are you, Tim? How has the past 8 days been? Let me try to get my camera a little bit more. Whoa. See, this is me off the green screen here. I'm showing some behind the scenes stuff. We do have like collar balance back here. To try to get a little warmer maybe, so I don't look so much like a zombie. There you go. Whoa, it wants to go there with the auto, so I have to stop this automatic thing from happening. I just click on this little button. I think it'll be locked. Okay. And another weird thing that's happening right now is that I don't know why, but my game capture is not really capturing just the game, is capturing everything that happens in the screen when I alt tab and everything. I don't know if this is something that I did wrong in OBS, but I'm rusty. I haven't streamed for like over a week. But Dante Aka says, I've just come back from a week in the Alps. Sorry if I haven't been there in the previous live. Oh, dude, don't worry. There's never have to say sorry for not showing up. If you show up, it's great. If you don't show up, that's good that you're. Hey, I would rather go to the Alps than watch streams. That's for sure. I just came back too. I came back yesterday, and it's good to be back. I'm looking forward to starting to learn this airplane. So let's go. This is a new airplane for me. I may have tried it once, just starting from the air somewhere, but it's a more modern airplane. So it has the Garmin 1000. It has a bunch of, it doesn't have it has some steam, some gauges up here, but it's mostly like a glass cockpit. And it has a very interesting thing that I was reading about yesterday that we're going to talk about when we take off. It's this thing here, this fuel transfer button. We're going to learn about that, because when you look at these airplanes with the low wing, okay, like if you look at an airplane like this, like the Cessna, you'll see the wing is up here, is on top, is above the engine, okay? Crucially, this is the engine, okay? And this airplane, the wing is below the engine, all right? So for the fuel and for the fuel to get into the engine, since it's not above the engine, you need a fuel pump to get that fuel into that engine. What happens there in America instead? Instead of what? Here in America, I think there's 4th of July happening. It's Independence Day from the British and stuff, and they usually celebrate that here on Sunday. I may be flying this instead of doing anything else. We'll see. Right now, what's happening in America is it's very hot on the West Coast, and I don't know what else is happening. I don't look at news too much because they just drive me crazy and make me depressed. So I avoid looking at news. Once in a while I look at news, but not often. I definitely, and I can tell you this after going to Michigan now, I definitely am not one of the people who watch Fox News or CNN for that matter. I don't care what is it on the news all the time. Some people just watch that all the time, and no wonder people go nuts. It's just bad news continuously. No wonder you're gonna get a little bit crazy. So I avoid that. F14. Anyway, yesterday I just completed a collection of all the colors of the various flight groups. Is that in War Thunder, Danteaka? I haven't played War Thunder for a while. I will play again. I will play soon. Black Lion skin, cool. Or are you talking about the F14 in DCS? So much going on in Microsoft in all sorts of flight simulators. In Microsoft Flight Simulator, there's a lot going on. In DCS, there's a lot going on. There's the sale still going on, and you can try planes for free for 2 weeks. Any plane you want, if you have the standalone Ego Dynamics version and not the Steam version. It's just like a golden age for flight sims. So anyway, as I was saying, what happens when the engine is above the wing, the gravity that usually pushes the fuel into the engine, like in the Cessnas with the high wing, is not there. So what do you need? You need electric pumps, and this means that you have and look, the wing, you have a right wing and you have a left wing. And what you're gonna have to do in this airplane, because of that, is as we fly, we're gonna have to periodically press this button to transfer fuel from the right wing into the left wing, because the left wing is where the fuel connection happens to the engine, to this propeller, the engine with the propeller attached to it in front. So it's a very weird system. It's totally unexpected. I did a little reading about it, and we're gonna find out how that works. No, the F-14 squadron in real life. Oh man, are you serious? What collection do you have? Is it like model planes or like photographs of the planes? Wow. Black Lion skin, yeah. F-14, hey, Top Gun 2 coming out in November, I think. So I'm thinking that may be one of the planes. That and the F-16 are probably going to be the two main planes I'm going to try in DCS when I get there. All right, let's stop talking so much for a little bit, or I'll keep talking. Another interesting thing about this plane, look at that. It has like it has a yoke. It has a flight stick, not a yoke. Interesting, huh? So it's like a little bit of a very modern looking thing, this. Alright, let's start it. I think I know how to turn this on. I think I have to put Electromaster 2 on. Get the initializing system that looked like MS-DOS there all of a sudden. Model airplanes, awesome. So you have a collection of all the... So you build them and you paint them and you have a collection of all of them with the various colors, the various liveries. That is awesome, man. I never did a model F-14. That was a complicated one to do because of the swing wing and stuff, right? But I did do an A6 Vaughn Crusader once, I think. That was one of the only jet models I did. And an F4 Phantom. I did an F4 Phantom. Avionics Master on. I don't know about this Essential Bus switch on. Do I need Essential Bus? Not for normal flight C. Advanced flight manual. Okay, so I guess I don't have to turn that on. Fuel pumps, we'll turn them on for takeoff, not just quite. Alright, I think I can just start the engine. Hey! Hey, clear the prop out there. Everybody clear? Clear prop. Okay, go. It's a pretty simple startup, this thing. And it's, and it doesn't make a lot of noise. It feels like a glider, this thing. I don't know why the Garmin is stuck here. Press right mouse soft key to continue. Okay, just click it. There you go. We're in Golf Charlie Foxtrot Victor. That's Fuerteventura Airport. It's about halfway between Paris and Dakar. A little bit to the left in case you have some weird winds from the Sahara throwing you in that direction. This is going to be a crazy thing I'm going to do. Alright, let's check here. RPM is moving. The load is moving. I don't think I have to do this with differential brakes, I think. There's no tail wheel in this. It's a tricycle landing gear. But it's... this thing here doesn't move with the rudder. So if I turn the rudder... See, this wheel here won't move. It's differential braking of these two wheels, I think, that makes you turn the aircraft. So we're just going to have to figure out if Microsoft Flight Simulator will do that for us. I'll go ahead and tune to ground, and let's request taxi, depart straight out.
Fuerteventura ground, Hypertexthero 1 with uniform request taxi for takeoff, departing straight out. Hypertexthero 1 taxi to and hold short of runway 01 via taxiway Alpha. Contact tower on
Alright, flaps are working.
when ready.
Ailerons are working. Okay, I'll acknowledge the taxi clearance. Look back here. I can't see my rudder, which is interesting. I mean, I can see the elevator there. Oh, it has a place for 2 people in the back here. Okay, if I go out of the airplane, I can see the rudder. And the elevator seems to be doing alright. Okay. And I'm gonna tune to the tower. And I'm just gonna go.
Vendor 4241, you were not cleared to land. Clear the runway.
Whoa, there's someone there's someone land here and is being told off by ATC. Weird. Okay. Yeah, so I'm a little rusty. I might be talking a little loud, and I will have to get my bearings here. Okay. Let's see. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. Can I ask ground to push me back? Let's try. To ground, ground services, request pushback. Oh dear. All right, we're just gonna have to. We're just gonna have to go back to clearance. We're gonna tune to the tower, and we're just gonna have to head to the runway and do our best to pretend that we're not gonna blow up when we hear this thing over here. So I'm gonna turn on the taxi lights. I'm gonna turn on position lights and turn on the strobes, and let's go. Where's the here you go, parking brake release. All right. Okay, we'll ignore that wing clipping the stuff there. And it feels like a glider, this thing. It feels like a really light airplane. Look at the visibility on this thing. It's really nice visibility, and it has those thin wings too. So if you look to the side, the wing doesn't like a lot of the low wing airplanes, it'll hamper the visibility, you know. But this one, it just really is feeling like a really nice, like you're riding in an F-16 or something. I mean, except for oh, what's going on? Oh, jeez. Okay, really rusty here. I pressed the infamous C key, so I lost control of the aircraft momentarily there when it was in the outset view. But actually, that's not even what happened. It is the differential braking. It's not the rudder doesn't really. This engine out here, it doesn't have a lot of horsepower, so it's not. Doesn't even push enough air to let you steer, apparently, from how I'm feeling it here. If you're under a particular airspeed, if you're not going very fast, it doesn't let you guide the airplane with just a prop wash hitting that rudder back there. I'm having to turn right here. I'm having to press the brakes. I'm having to push brakes in order to be able to turn right here. See, look, full rudder. It's not. I have to press brakes in order to turn right. It's a very odd, very different from the Cessna I'm used to flying, from the 152, and from the BN2 Islander. And in this race we're going to be doing, there is absolutely you can't use liveries, you can't use mods, you can't use planes that are not available in the default deluxe Microsoft Flight Simulator package. So you have to use one of the default planes. It has to be a single engine plane. It can't be a turboprop. It has to be a regular piston engine airplane. It has to be single engine, and you also cannot use the Beechcraft Bonanza. Great name for an airplane. The Beechcraft's a Bonanza. Take it to Las Vegas. And there, because that one, it has apparently, it has much better performance than the other planes, so they think it's unfair, and so that one you're not allowed to use either. So that limits what you can use. And another thing that to think about is this is an endurance race. It's going to be like a 20-hour flight. Okay, so if you get a plane without autopilot, you're gonna have to be sitting there for that time. You're not gonna be able to put an autopilot and turn it off, and you know, go to bed. I mean, you can, but it's if something goes wrong, you'll crash, and then you have to start over from your previous save point. And the way they have that sorted out is that from the rules is that you have you can do touch and goes in airfields en route. And if you do a touch and go on an airfield, that's a save point. So if Microsoft Flight Simulator crashes, or if you crash the airplane, you can start from the previous place you did a touch and go. And if you want to refuel, then you can't do a touch and go. Then you have to actually land, and you have to wait, put a parking brake on, and wait for 10 minutes to simulate like a real-life refueling. Alright, so these are some of the rules for this Paris-Dakar race that we're going to do with this airplane. July 3rd, 2 a.m. New York City time. We're gonna do that. But right now I'm learning to fly it. I want to try out this fuel pump. I want to try a few of these things. Okay, let's get in touch with the tower again, and let's take off clearance.
Hypertexthero 1 at runway 01 ready for departure, straight out departure.
Hypertexthero 1 altimeter tree 0.06 wind 035 at tree 5. Straight out departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 01.
Alright, we're ready to go. Straight out departure approved. Acknowledge this takeoff clearance, and let's go. Alright, I'm gonna turn off, I'm gonna turn on the landing lights, I'm gonna turn off the taxi lights. I think I have to turn on the fuel pumps. This is like the BN2 Islander. There's I think after some flight crashes years ago of general aviation airplanes, the Federal Aviation Authority made a new rule that for small airplanes you have to have auxiliary fuel pumps installed, because if you're taking off and the main fuel pump quits on you, you're low altitude, you just took off, engine gets starved of fuel because the main pump failure, you got a crash there, very bad crash. So after something like that happened, I don't know the history of it, but I think that that's what happened. After one or more crashes due to a failure of the main fuel pump, they made it mandatory to have auxiliary fuel pumps installed. And I don't know if all aircraft or not. The Cessna 152 doesn't have it. Maybe it's for liquid cool airplanes. It's a water cooled engine. Maybe the Cessna, since it has gravity, it's a high wing, you don't need that, because you know gravity is not going to turn off all of a sudden and stop working unless something much worse happens. So gravity will keep pushing the plane down. Let's stop talking, let's go. I'm just going to taxi here to the runway, do one last check. No one's coming that way, no one's coming that way. Hopefully no one's coming from behind me and going to do some crazy buzzing thing. But actually, I wouldn't mind if they want to do that. And I've never flown this, so I'm just going to put full power here. And I have no flaps. I'm just going to... There's plenty of space here. And rotate. And it has a fixed tricycle landing gear, this thing. Pretty noisy from the outside, but it's kind of like, sounds like a fan more than a something of gasoline. It sounds like an electric airplane, actually. And don't have to worry about flaps, don't have to worry about landing gear. It is a very light and very it feels quite smooth. A little gets thrown around a little bit by the wind, but a very smooth ride is feeling like. Okay, let's see. Something is... Let's get the RPM back down. That's flashing at me a little bit. And I'm just going to do some flying around Forteventura here. And I want to see what's going to happen with this fuel pump. Because you see where the fuel quantity is over here. It's right there. And you notice over there you have right and left. So left is going down already, okay? And once it starts going down quite a bit, then we're going to have to press this button to get a fuel transfer from the right wing to the left wing. And this is going to be a little annoying. I think like every half hour or so. It's not going to be, I guess, a little annoying. You know, you're going to have to remember every half hour or so to turn that fuel transfer pump on. And I wonder what happens. Can you just turn it on all the time, or is that is that a no-no? Lots of questions about this airplane. Lots of whoa, okay. Lots of questions I'm gonna have about this. What's the best cruising altitude? I mean, that's also going to depend on the wind, because for these endurance races, you have to look at the wind. What's happening with the wind? We're going to be flying real weather. We're going to be looking at websites like windy.com, and we're going to be looking at weather forecasts to see, you know, maybe the wind is really moving fast in the direction we want with a tailwind at 5,000 feet. So maybe that's where we want to be in order to go faster than other people. I mean, I'm not going to win because I'm not going to be flying one of the fast airplanes like the Pit Special. There's crazy people out there that will fly that with no autopilot. I'll probably be one of them in one of the later races. I'm going to try. But for this particular one, you know, I'm not going to be flying the high performance planes that are allowed, like the Pits and the Extra. Big disadvantage is no autopilot, but so I'm not going to win, okay, unless it's a really like crazy a really crazy twist of fate. But I just want to fly. I want to try. It's fun to do a plot a course. We're going to do that in one of the next streams. We're going to plot a course from Paris to Dakar, and I'm going to be looking around some of these little airfields. This airplane, one of the good things about, one of the advantages of this Diamond DA40-NG, is that what it's called? I keep forgetting. It's yeah, DA40-NG Diamond airplane. One of the advantages of it is it has I think a 900 nautical mile range. It has like a lot of fuel in these two tanks. All right, so we'll be able to fly quite far without doing touch and goes. We're going to be able to fly quite far without landing. But that's always, especially once we get out of Europe, we get south of Spain, we get to, you know, northwest Africa. We're going to get into Mauritania. There's not a lot of airfields around there, I think. It's a little bit like the Perth to Sydney flight. There's some places that there's not a lot of airfields, so it's a risk. Do I land here and take 10 minutes to refuel, or do I keep going in order to make better time and fuel later? And then you risk running out of fuel, and then you have to start from the last one you did a touch and go on. So it's a bunch of different things you have to think about. And how loud is that? Is Microsoft Flight Simulator loud as hell right now? Let's see. I think it is pretty loud as hell. Huh? It's getting down there. Copy that. Fuerteventura air traffic control. Frequency change. Hypertexthero 1. The Canary Islands. I want to go there here someday. Never been. But here, let's take a look at this. And apparently, this plane. I mean, I'm pushing 120 knots, which is the cruise speed, close to maximum cruise speed of this airplane. But apparently, you can fly all the way down with like 60% load on the engine. But look at that. The RPM is high. Is there a I think there's a separate RPM thing. Let's see if it's mapped to one of these. Is that mixture? Cabin heats, release, parking brake, go around thing. Okay. Now it's doing better with the load. Maybe I was getting a tailwind that was pushing it a little too fast for the computers. Here it goes again. Let's leave it around there. Maybe I have a strong tailwind here. I don't know what's going on. So I'm gonna have to figure this stuff out. And there's a bunch of stuff here. I don't know if these. I don't think these are operable. But there's a load of stuff that we're gonna have to learn to do. I don't see a heading bug. That's a little worrying. Hopefully there's maybe not a compass. I'm just gonna have to do it here, all with the electronic one. I prefer to have a proper mechanical dial always for compasses, but maybe it's just not available in this thing. Maybe up here. Nope. So I'm going to be spending a lot of time in this airplane, and I'm going to have to really learn these systems. I just jumped into the air here without taking too much time to learn it now, because I've just came back from Michigan, didn't have a lot of time to prepare. I came back last night and I put all the computer stuff together. I didn't just turn on, I had put everything down to keep it free of dust, my computer and my setup here of the green screen, and then I put it back up. And so it takes a little doing sometimes, that stuff. All right, so you see the left there is quite a bit lower than the right. Now I'm going to turn the fuel transfer on, and we're going to start seeing that right over there get close to the left. And I think the max imbalance is 5 gallons or something like that. I was looking at the manual of this airplane, so we're going to have to keep doing this regularly. Unless there's a way you can leave it on, then I don't have to worry about it. I have no clue. And unlike the BN2 Islander, this plane doesn't really like to climb so much. It wants to land, it feels. It keeps wanting to go down. It's stalling right now. There you go, a sim advisory. What's that advisory? Oh, the auxiliary pumps are still on. Let's turn them off. And look at that, I'm losing a lot of altitude. Still advisory. Auxiliary fuel pump is on. I turned it. Oh, this one is on. Okay. And I had forgotten to turn the fuel pumps on. This is the auxiliary one. Okay. If I turn it off, the advisory stops. Okay. Hey, Spammer Joe, are you flying with viewers? If you like, you're very welcome to join me. I just took off from Fuerteventura. That's whoa, Golf Charlie Foxtrot Victor. Thanks so much for the follow, Spammer Joe. I'll head back to the airport. If you want to join me, you're very welcome to. There's also Lima Echo Bravo Kilo to my left here. You can try that. But if you want to join me, just join me. I'm Microsoft gamer tag is Hypertexthero without an E in the text, because there was a limitation of 12 characters. I don't know if they've updated that. If they have, I should change it to my regular Hypertexthero. But the place I'm nearest to is Lima Echo Bravo Kilo. Here, I'll go overfly this airfield. Do you have your controls? I don't know. I do not. What is your controls? Never heard of that. That sounds like an interesting thing. And if you want, I want to give a shout out here to CDL, because it's one of the first people who rated me. One of the first people I started watching Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I've learned a lot from. And the person who's organizing these charity races. This one is going to be for the Paris-Dakar one on July 3rd. Endurance race is going to be to benefit Médecins Sans Frontières, the Doctors Without Borders. Excellent organizations. It lets you fly with 2 people in a cockpit. Really? Awesome. Your controls, huh? I have a friend of mine who would love to try that. He likes flying the jets, you know. Servers right now, we're here. Let's check it real quick. East USA. East USA. All right. I'll take a look at that. Thanks for letting me know about it. This friend of mine will be particularly happy about this, about a mod that lets you fly with 2 people in the cockpit and 100% free. That's amazing. That's one of my favorite things for streaming, especially. I like video games that are moddable and that have a big community around them, focused on a particular thing like Microsoft Flight Simulator or aviation. And the wonderful thing about moddable video games is that you can have free mods, like Spammer Joe is letting us know here. My closest airport, Spammer Joe, I'll let you know right now, is Lima Echo Bravo Kilo. All right. I'll go check it out and I'll see if I can see you. Stand by. I'm very confused about this RPM thing here. I don't know what I have to do to get the RPM lower. I don't see This parking brake release, aerofrost floor, cabin heat. It's weird they put this stuff on these controls. I mean, cabin heat over here. This is usually mixture, but it doesn't seem to have this stuff. Opa! Wild Grace is ready for a party of 11! Copy that, Spammer Joe 717. Hole 1 2 boss! Wild Grace coming in from Norway, taking a break from the Assassin's Creed and coming back with Microsoft Flight Simulator action here. Fantastic. Thanks so much for the raid, Wild Grace. I don't know if my emote thing, explosion, emote explosion worked, because I haven't been streaming for a while and just back now after being gone for quite a while. So I really appreciate the raid. I'm a little bit rusty right now. I've been gone, and so I apologize for my for anything that goes terribly wrong here right now. I'm trying Neofly sim crash before I did. That's awesome. That's, you know, that's good. If the sim is crashing before you do, then you're doing fine, you know, because as a work in progress, as all software ultimately is, Microsoft Flight Simulator has its problems, Neofly has its problems, so there's gonna be crashes, you know, and that's why in this Paris-Dakar endurance race they have, that I'm practicing for here, I'm learning to fly this airplane for this race that's gonna start here in New York City at 2 a.m. on January 3rd. You know, doing the classic Paris-Dakar race with General Aviation airplanes, no turboprops, single engine, can't use the Beechcraft Bonanza. Copy that, Spammer Joe. Alright, this looks like a heliport. There's a small little, look at this place, there's a small little runway. A lot of wind there. Maybe that's why I was getting that RPM. That's what, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 knot plus wind here in the Canary Islands. Maybe that's why I was getting the RPM warning, because I'm getting some really strong tailwind perhaps. 747? Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to take off a 747 from that one. The Queen of the Skies is going to have trouble taking off from this airfield here. Here, let's do it. Let's try landing right there. I'm going to put the flaps down. There it goes. There's the indication. There's only like let's put landing flaps, 98 knots indicated airspeed. It told me. I was just passing that. YOLO. I don't have Sim Toolkit Pro here, so no landing turned on yet. So no landing. I'm just gonna do a touch and go here. Maybe then I can turn on Sim Toolkit Pro. Do touch and go. Turn on Sim Toolkit Pro. Yo YOLO. Hope you're all having a good day. Coming in here with Wild Craze. Very kind gentleman from Norway, I believe. I think I met him through Microsoft Flight Simulator, but I was watching him play some Assassin's Creed Valhalla the other day. Here you go, touch and go. Look at this crosswind. Look at this crosswind here. And look how... Okay, there we go. And we go. Crazy little... I mean, is this a bug, or are the airfields really... The runways that short? Maybe with that wind you don't need a lot of runway in these islands, you know. Let's see, where are you? Yo, did you put on all players live server is yeah, I don't see you yet. Let me just double check some settings here. Stand by. General options. I think I have certain traffic nameplates are on. I am Hypertexthero. I am on East USA. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, this is Lima Echo Bravo Kilo. Here, let me try not to crash. And hey Mystico, how's it going? Are you enjoying Neofly Wild Craze? I love Neofly. I don't have Neofly on right now because right now I'm just learning this plane for this Paris-Dakar race. I don't see you yet. I don't see anyone here. Spammer Joe. There's an airplane down there, but I don't see a nameplate on it. Sent friend request. All right, let me check it out. There you go. And a thing you have to make sure is that you have I think live players and then live weather, and I think live player is the main one. I always forget. Wildcray says, bit on the fence, but so far Neofly does more than I needed to. Cool. All right. Yeah, it's a little fiddly. It's a little, because you have to do a lot of things manually, because it won't. You have to like set fuel manually, stuff like that, to match. So you have all the green lights. But as I got better at it and I learned more about it, I enjoyed it more. And a lot of things are hidden in the right click. So if you don't see how to do something, try right clicking on something, and it might be, the option might be there. Mystical, I'm doing all right. Last week I was gonna go to Seattle for a little holiday with my partner of Amber to see a childhood friend of mine, but then we had to cancel that trip and we had to go to Michigan because there was a death in Amber's family. So you know, it became more of a sad trip instead of a holiday. But it was still, you know, it was good to see people, and I had to take a break of the stream, so that's why I was gone. Yeah, I was gonna go to Seattle, Washington, and I heard that just by canceling that trip, I missed this crazy heat wave that's been going on over there. Really nuts. Biggest peeve is all the alien units. Oh, like I think if you go to settings, you can change to metric instead of imperial, if that's what you're talking about, Wild Craze. Whoa, that's a loud car. What a you know, I won't say it. But. So for now, turn off fuel matching. Copy that. Yeah, I was sorry to hear that. No, that's the thing about life. One moment you're here, the next you're gone. Make the most of every day. Yeah, if you go to settings, I think there's an option to switch to metric. I think I may be wrong. And this thing, I'm brand new to this airplane. I'm figuring all this stuff. Okay, look at that. Now I just leaving this on. I'm keeping this on. Auto auxiliary pump on. That advisory is flashing at me because I turned this fuel pump on. The fuel is coming from the right wing into the left wing, and the left wing is what is connected to the engine out front here. And since it's not a high wing airplane, it's a low wing airplane, the gravity doesn't push the fuel to the engine from these wings, so you need to have pumps to push them in. And that's the thing about low wing airplanes. You need fuel pumps to push the pump to push the fuel into the engine out front here. Okay, you just took off. All right, I don't see you. Are you sure you had all players here? Let me show you. Make sure you have I don't think I can show you from here, but you have to make sure that on your flight you have all players and live weather, I think. Yeah, I don't see you, a Spammer Joe, but I'm gonna keep moving here. We're gonna try. I'm gonna try to head back to Fortaventura. Yeah, go back to the main menu, and then try live all players, not live players, but all players. It's like the middle option on the top and the left one on the left and right. Okay. Yeah, not much weather to speak of here, other than very strong wind. And this airplane is a brand new to me, so I'm just giving a little. Whoa, isn't that weird? Doing this. Here, let me try to trim it. Alfred Hitchcock, I don't know if you're familiar with Alfred Hitchcock, a famous movie cinema director. He's, I think, one of the pioneers of this thing, where you have a camera angle that you zoom in of one and you zoom out of the other. You zoom in, you move the camera away and you zoom in at the same time. It's kind of weird. It's like two changes of perspective at once. I'm not going to try to talk about that too much now because I'm going to crash. I don't know why it's not working. I'm sorry, I have to go. Sorry, yeah, well, let's try again later. I'll look at it again when I land, and then we can try again. Thanks so much for the follow, Spammer Joe. And thanks again for the raid, Wild Craze. Ultimate horror must be Hitchcock's Birds, but with seagulls. All right. The Birds. I have to watch that again. Let's take a look at Spammer Joe here. He's also a streamer. I'm gonna give him a follow back there. All right. I love The Birds. I really like Alfred Hitchcock, one of my favorite film directors. I like North by Northwest. Hey, Atomic, thanks so much for the follow. 1-2 boss. 1-2 boss means number one, you try to don't let people boss you around, and number two, be the boss of your own life. Find what you're passionate about. Try to not forget that with all the other, you know, demands of life, to make money, and what your parents want you to do, what your friends tell you you should do, what your family tell you should do. In the end, you have to make your decision. You have to try to be your own boss. Not easy to do often, but that's originally where 1-2 boss came from. It's a little bit of a weird way of explaining it right now, but 1-2 the boss. White Tomic also coming here with us. Is this another streamer? Let's take a look. We can fire up Firefox over here. Let's see if White Tomic is out there. White Tomic, oh, 402 follows. All right, here's another one, White Tomic. Thank you so much for the follow. Just a person inside a person being a person. I am a perception. Awesome, that is perceptive. I'll check your stream out later for sure. 1-2 jump, hydrate, and posture check. Okay, so first 1-2 jump. Okay, let me turn on the autopilot. I think there's autopilot for this. I haven't set it yet, but I'm just gonna. Where the heck was it? I think it's over here. I'm just gonna click on heading. Autopilot is on, and let me try to put a altitude. All right, altitude hold. Okay. This is for YT Mystical. I'm sitting down. I don't have the. I am not standing up on the desk now. I don't have the standing desk, but 1-2 jump. And I should check my posture. Thanks for the 1-2 jump. Let me hydrate now. Thank you. Thank you for the hydration. My Tomic's been a while since I last did anything, but it's much appreciated. I just like showing friends of friends support. Thanks so much, Vitomic. Yeah, that's so important, I think, in life, you know, to cultivate your friendships, you know, like you have really good friends, to go visit them, to get in touch with them, tell them they're awesome, tell them appreciate you're doing, and then friends of friends, you know, that's you know, if someone's your friend and a friend of theirs and you really like them, a friend of theirs is probably a good person. So I appreciate it very much. And I try to do the same thing. I am a total amateur at this. I started streaming about, I think, September last year, so it's getting close to a year. But I've learned so much from so many kind people here in Twitch, in the Microsoft Flight Simulator community, and this has been the best community for me. Like I really got into the general aviation flying here because I love airplanes. I used to fly in them as a kid, but also other video games like Altitude Sturmovik. I'm going to start getting into DCS. Congrats, YT, 40 followers, awesome. Yeah, go check out Mystical. He's out there in the journey too. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's path is different, but it's important to try to help other people, because when you help other people, it's kind of like a basic income, you know. If you help everyone, then you do better too. Then it brings everyone up. There's a great little. I mean, by trade I'm a graphic designer, so there's this great little. I think it was a T-shirt. I don't remember, but it's like a picture of to support a basic income for all human beings, and it's a picture of 3 people carrying a log and then you know, if it was, and then there's one managed to cross a hole, and then he's still holding the log, and then the one in the middle can just hold on to it, and then the one in the middle gets the other side and holds on to it, so the last one can go over as well. So it's basically like people helping each other. That's one of the the superpowers of human beings with language and our opposable thumbs and everything is cooperation, you know. It brings some bad things too. Once in a while you have big wars because tribes go against each other. That's when the tribe, that's when the tribal stuff is not so good. But generally that's one of the great advantages, everyone helping each other. Let's turn off the landing lights. And well, who else was I was gonna give a shout out also here to White Tomic. All right, there we go. All right, and I've just been talking a bit like wild crazes, like a wild crazy stampede of viewers came here, and there's this weird Soma FM music in the background. All right, that's Soma FM we're listening to here. The Drone Zone is the channel we're listening to. It's an awesome. Go buy a T-shirt if you like this. Go listen to the multitude of radio stations that you have in this. Hey, Matra, good morning or good afternoon or good evening, good day to you. How are you? One of my favorite people to fly with here in Microsoft Flight Simulator. We've flown with the PT-17 with the Stearman, and welcome. And welcome, and I'm currently by Lima Echo Bravo Kilo. It's a tiny little airfield just circling here with autopilot turned on. It seems to be working. I'm a little rusty with my Garmin 1000 skills, but I'm just doing a check, not a check ride, but doing a first flight on this airplane to try to figure out what I'm gonna have to keep track of. And this thing here, the fuel transfer, we see I'm going to turn that off now, because now we've been pulling fuel from the right tank, and look, the right tank is all the way there and the left tank is there. So now I turned it off, so now we're going to start getting fuel from the left tank again. So this is going to be confusing. This is going to be I'm going to have to really figure out a way of managing this, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to just turn on autopilot and go to sleep, because I don't think autopilot will magically press that button for me. I don't know how other people have done it. I know other people have flown this airplane in the Perth to Sydney endurance race. So I'm going to have to ask Icebird. I'm going to have to ask people with more experience than myself with this. Anyone watching England versus Germany? Is that soccer today? I would love to go watch that. I haven't watched soccer for a while, but that sounds like that's a classic, right? Classic matchup. Yesterday, I don't know if the Clippers or the Suns got into the NBA Finals for the first time since 1993 against Michael Jordan's team, Michael Jordan's Chicago Bulls, but I haven't watched basketball for a while. I watch it once in a while, but here, let's turn off autopilot is disengaged, and let's fly that way. The Euro Cup. Is it what, semi-finals? Where are we? I haven't... what did I watch in Michigan? I watched Denmark versus Russia. I watched Denmark win and get into, I think, semi-finals. I forget, but I haven't been keeping up with it. You know, it's summer. Instead of wearing this tie and all the time, well, not all the time, but sometimes, and playing video games, maybe I should go watch some sports. Although I must admit, I prefer playing sports or either in the computer or in real life than watching them these days. But I always enjoy a good soccer match, a good basketball game. You know, I'm not gonna go and start throwing plastic chairs like the hooligans do, but I do enjoy rooting for a team and seeing them. I like the underdogs generally. I like going for the underdog, and when they win, then it's so awesome. Round of 16, huh? Is it did it just start, the Euros? It's been going on for a while. Look at this thing. It's like a glider with like one of those, if you have kids, if you have babies and they're young, this looks like a glider with I don't have kids, but I have a lot of friends with kids, and the modern strollers, they don't have 4 wheels, they have 3 wheels, so the parents can you know go running and take their kids for a stroll as well. So this kind of looks like a combination of a glider and a baby stroller, a modern baby stroller with 3 wheels. Very odd looking airplane, very modern looking airplane. Thin little fuselage in the back there. It looks like it could just break if you kick it hard enough. Hopefully that won't happen. 1 to 2 weeks now. All right. Do I have an Instagram account? I do, Dante Aka. I'm also a photographer, you know, more like amateur for myself photographer. I have a book coming out. It was going to come out in June, but with all that's happened these past 10 days and a lot of, I just had to push it back. It's going to be end of July now that it's going to be published. But yeah, my Instagram is my name. It's Simon Griffey. That's my real name. You know, I could try to hide from the internet, but it wouldn't be very successful these days. You know, so I just thought I'm just gonna own this. I used to have a Hypertexthero one, but I think I just stopped posting to it, and I wouldn't. And then Instagram removed it because I hadn't used it for over a year or something. So I'm just using my regular one. But if you go back on the Instagram, you'll see a lot more photographs. These days I don't post that often. I post mostly flight simulator related stuff. Yeah, interesting airplane. Not difficult to fly, but this thing here bothers me. This RPM. I think it's because I'm having some pretty strong tailwinds here, but I'm over. If the RPM is too high, then it goes into the yellow there, and the engine doesn't seem happy, but I don't like flashing things in the cockpit because it makes me think something is wrong, you know. Unless you turn on this auxiliary fuel pump. Let's see, okay. Right is still there. If I turn this on, then that starts flashing, so that's for you to know that that's on. That's fine. But this stuff here, it kind of makes me a little nervous that the RPM is going so high. I think there's no mixture control from what I can tell, unless I'm totally missing. So I think the mixture is totally automatic based on your RPMs. See, now I'm in the green. And so that means that in order to get best fuel economy, I'm just going to have to manage with the throttle and keep an eye on that fuel transfer. Not too difficult. Pretty easy airplane to fly. Dante Aka does models and diorama. You can find the photos on my account. Dante Acarini View Art. Cool, I'll give you a follow. I'll go check it out. Wildcray says, doesn't it stop flashing if acknowledged with the press of a button? Oh, right there. You mean this one here? Let's see. Look at this building on the top of a hill here. Looks like a big Italian hotel. Okay, let's see. Alerts. That one I don't think it does. I don't know. I don't know how to use all this stuff. I'm gonna have to learn to use all this stuff. I almost crashed there. Oh, the alert advisory, yeah, probably. Let's see. Fuel transfer. Let's see. Advisory. Yeah, you're right. That stopped. Okay. You're right about that one. Then I clicks there and it stops. Yeah. Okay, but I'm going to turn the fuel transfer on because we have more on the left now than... Oh, actually, no, I have to turn it on. I have to bring... No, I have more on the left than on the right. So this... You see there's an arrow here. There's an arrow that points from right to left. It's a little hard to see that left front of the arrow, but that means that when I turn this on, it's pulling fuel from that wing into that wing. So right here, there's more fuel on the... there's less fuel on the right wing, so I don't have to turn it on. I want there's more fuel on the left wing, so I don't want to pull it from the right wing yet. Little confusing. Hey, and a matrog of a BN2 Islander, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic. Couldn't hear you so well. Let me check something real quick. General options, sound, volume levels, aircraft engines. Let's put it at 100 and see. Fly and save. Maybe it would be nice to have like outside views of fly past engines volumes turned up. Let's see, where did Wild Craze go? Matrog, I mean, sorry. Alright, should we try to land in a crazy place like on this ridge here? We're right on that ridge. That could be a challenge. Matrog currently flying my favorite airplane for this flight simulator so far, the BN2 Islander, a gorgeous twin. It's not the particular Islander I think he's flying is not a turboprop. It's It's a regular piston. A gorgeous, gorgeous airplane that should soon be having a sound overhaul, because they got a sound engineer and they have a sound engineer, so they're going to be putting in a brand new positional audio for the BN2 Islander. My favorite airplane in Microsoft Flight Simulator is an airplane that's close to my heart, and because I used to fly in it as a young kid, my dad, to get to some really remote parts of Brazil for his plant work. He was a plant biologist, plant pathologist. He dealt with plant diseases, research. To get to some place in Brazil for his research, he had to fly in those planes, the BN2 Islander. Big range, long range of those two Lycoming engines, and very, very, very good short takeoff and landing, short field takeoff and landing performance. So you can land like, and it has like these landing gears that are just attached. They're very strong, so you can land anywhere of that plane basically. Definitely more. Well, I'm not familiar with this plane, but that's the way it looks. Look at this little thing. The BN2 Islander definitely looks more sturdy than this little thing. All right, let's try to do a touch and go on this ridge over here, just to familiarize myself, because in this endurance race, touch and goes are important because they can create a save point in the Paris-Dakar endurance race. I'm going to put a link to information about it shortly. Maybe I'll land in one of these ridges and we try it. But for now, I'm just going to try a touch and go on this ridge right here. Quite a bit of turbulence here. I'm not sure what's going on with the wind, but we're going to just try to come in and do a touch and go on the ridge. A little risky, but why not? I don't have Sim Toolkit Pro activated yet. I'm going to activate it on my next landing. Oh, just missed it. I wanted to do it from outside view. Let's try, let's just stay on this ridge and let's try this one here. Oh, a lot of turbulence. Look at that wind. The wind is just pushing the airplane that way. Woo! It is like flying a glider. This thing is very light. The wind really throws it around. Oh, touch and go. Pretty hard, but I'll take it. 1-2, boss. You're gonna see. I apologize. It's too hot for me to wear, and I'm not in a real office here. I'm at home, so I'm not wearing like layer clothes. So and it's summer in New York City. You're gonna have to see some armpit marks on my shirt when I wear these shirts. Okay, that's just gonna be the way it is. Matrock's back there. Let's turn around and see Matrock do some touch and goes. Yeah, practicing a maximum performance turn here. I'm not flying an F-16. I'm flying a Diamond DA40-NG, I think. But very, very pretty simple airplane to fly. It's responsive. I haven't had any bad, any sudden wing drop, sudden stall, no bad surprises. Pretty stable little thing. Not really stable, but pretty docile. Little airplane this. And I love that it's like yokes, like in a fighter jet, you know. And look at the visibility. I mean, the cockpit reminds me a bit, if you play Elite Dangerous, of the Hauler, the Gordon Peterson Hauler, like a small little General Space cargo plane. Okay. Cruising speed of this thing is about 120 knots, I think. And as I had said previously, I don't like that I don't have a mechanical heading bug here. I have the altitude, but there's no mechanical heading bug. I'm going to have to set the heading probably digitally through the Garmin 1000. Let's stick with Matrock. Let's see if is he going to try some touch and goes with that Islander. Yeah, quick and agile little thing, huh? There he goes. Let's orbit that ridge and see if Matrox gonna do some. It's gonna try a touch and go. You let me know if you wanna try a touch and go, Matrox, and we'll observe from this direction over here. There he goes, ladies and gentlemen. Matrox going in for perhaps a touch and go, perhaps a landing.
You need a Soma FM t-shirt.
Yes, you do need a Soma FM t-shirt. Go and buy a t-shirt if you like this music or other musics. I have to get one and wear it on stream. I'm gonna do that soon. Every time I like good old gold just a bit more than glass panels. Oh, same here. I wish I may change my mind and get a different airplane, but they don't have autopilot. That's the thing. All right. Oh, look at those trees. Watch out. Oh, very close to the tree there. Matrox showing the very low speed performance of the BN2 Islander. Yeah, I much prefer steam gauges, just like gauges than digital glass cockpits, heads up like not heads up display, these glass cockpit MF multifunction displays that you have in this thing. At least it has some, you know, it has like the altitude, it has the attitude indicator, and it has the airspeed over there. But I would love for a compass not to be like these so-called whiskey compasses. I would love for it to have like an old school compass. YT Mystical says, every time I take off and turn in a plane on Microsoft Flight Simulator, it always spins out and crashes. Do you have, what are you using? Do you have rudder controls? Thank you, Elias, Hydrate, I appreciate it. Let me get, where's my water? I can fly some formation here with one hand. Salut, Elias, how's it going? Good to see you, Elias. What controls are you using, YT Mishko? That may be a rudder that's causing that to happen. You have to if you have a propeller airplane, you have to compensate for the torque. Matrox, a nice touchdown there on the ridge. I'm gonna keep on this left-hand turn. If I turn right, I'm gonna crash to the mountain. See track IR there. Here, I'm gonna land by Matrox and give myself a break here, and do a couple of things. Turn on Sim Toolkit Pro. No drinking the blue juice. What's the blue juice? Blue curacao? Curaçao? No, I don't know how to spell that, how to pronounce that. I just use a controller because my stick doesn't work. Okay, well, controller, you have to make sure you have the rudder map somewhere, and that's the tricky thing of controllers is you can probably use rudders in these things. Might be a good thing for the rudder, but rudder, especially for general aviation or most airplanes, is important. They come in a little hot here. I'm gonna do another pass, standby. Yeah, look at your rudder mapping, YT. That's what I recommend. If you're spinning, spin out and crashes, it may be that you need to apply rudder to compensate for the torque of the engine or for crosswind. You know, my favorite thing about Microsoft Flight Simulator, even more than, I mean, one of my favorite things, okay, but here, let's put full landing flaps, see if that will slow us down. But very close to being my favorite feature of this, one of my favorite features is that you can fly anywhere in the world. It's a real planet. But very close to that, my other favorite thing about this is the simulation of wind in this video game. And you know, where airplanes fly in the air, they fly through the sky, wind is there all the time, most of the time, and it's very important to learn about wind when you're flying airplanes, whether in the digital world like in the Microsoft Flight Simulator or in the real world. So this has a great simulation of wind, and look at that, it's pushing me a little bit to the side. You can see the wind is pushing me to that side a bit. Managed to do a little landing there, very gentle. Taxi up to Matron. Elias Speaks coming to us from Jamaica. Oh, full power to try to compensate for this gravity. This game obviously simulates gravity. It's without gravity, it would be, you know, a different game. Flaps up. And here's Matrog with his wonderful BM2. I'm gonna get behind him a bit. And then point the other way. Probably take off with tailwind down this mountain. So yeah, it's like for example, if you're in an airfield and you're gonna take off, oh, full brakes, full brakes, full brakes. Brakes, 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 brakes. Wow, having trouble with the brakes here. Parking brake, control B. Yes. Wow, wow, it doesn't want to brake. Oh man, it's gonna go. Okay, parking brake off, gonna have to take off. Oh shit. Jeez, it didn't want to stop. Did they change the... Did they update the ground handling or something? Because maybe it's the wind here. It's very strong wind, but... Wow. I couldn't stop, man. Wow. Okay, let's try again. Get a little bit of airspeed here. It's like flying a, you know, it's a, if you go on a, I was in Michigan now, you know, so I went to places like called Myers and stuff like that. It was these giant like Walmart things, like giant, in the United States you have these giant supermarkets. And they have like, they're like basically a huge hangar, a huge aircraft hangar, and you have like, let's try again. Uphill landing. Look at my rudder, see my little rudder? Because the wind is pushing me to the right there. Boom, a bit of a smackdown there. Yeah, so that's two things about America. They like the word smackdown, that's from wrestling or rap or something. And they like, especially in the Midwest and places like that, they like a big supermarkets or like an aircraft hangar. Okay, control B. It doesn't want to stop this thing. It doesn't have good brakes. Let's see if I'll pass you, Matrog. Let's hope it'll stop here. It gets a little bit I have the parking brake set, and I'm holding down the brakes, and it doesn't want to stop. Okay, now it's gonna stop. Please stop. Wow. Okay. Undo the brake. It goes. See the modeling of gravity. That's what I love about this game and other games like it. I like games that model gravity, model wind, model like, you know, the real real life characteristics of the universe we live in. Reverse thrust. I don't know. This thing. I don't think it has reverse, but I don't know this airplane. Maybe it does. No, it goes to 0 to 100. There's the parking brake. It's weird that these controls here are cabin heat and defrost. This is so weird that the handles. Usually this is like propeller pitch and mixture, but these are like for cabin heat and defrost. It's as if like in a car, you know, they put the controls for the cabin heat and defrost by your accelerator down there. It's kind of weird for me, but I'm sure there's a good reason that I don't know about. Alright, let's see. Okay, we're still pretty much more or less balanced there. Less fuel in the right wing, so I'm gonna keep the fuel transfer off for now. Once the left goes below the right, then I will turn this on to transfer fuel from the right wing. Yeah, it looks mechanical, right? And I think this whole airplane, the system is there's a bit of a fly-by-wire thing going on here, like in the F-16. So trim is a little weird in this airplane. It's not like a mechanical trim. I prefer airplanes that are and let me change this music a little bit here. I prefer airplanes that are more mechanical than let's bring back some bossa, okay? Some bossa nova. We need a little bit of a more chill vibe here. Do you have the other DA40 of the Steam gauges? Is that in the deluxe Microsoft Flight Simulator? I didn't even know there was one of Steam gauges. If there is, I would like to fly that one. But is it deluxe or is it like a mod? Because for this race, we're not allowed to use any mods, and no, we're not allowed to use third-party aircraft. We're only allowed to use the airplanes that came with Microsoft Flight Simulator Deluxe, up to the Deluxe. Now I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Paris-Dakar Microsoft Flight Sim race. Let's see. Not illegal race. Microsoft Flight Simulator endurance race. Let's see if that'll give us something. And what happened with OBS that now it shows you I have game capture on, but let's try that. But it's showing the whole oh, that's why. Okay. Well, that's okay. Let's just leave display capture. I had display capture set up and I didn't even realize. I thought that was game capture. So it's just, you know, usually when there's a problem in my stream, the problem is it's right here. It's between these two things. That's where the problem resides in my streams often. Where did that go? All right, let's see. Let's see if I can put it over here. Paris-Dakar registration thread, I think. I don't think you can register anymore, but I was late because I forgot that there was a... I was traveling and I forgot there was a deadline, but I wrote CDL yesterday and he kindly let me register anyway. So maybe if you write him, he'll let you register. Maybe if you do that, and you want to do that, you want to go do a crazy 20-hour flight. Maybe he was like, Simon, why did you send all these people? There was a deadline for a reason, you know. But you can go and try and there you go. It's on Reddit too. You can go and try if you want to participate. That's what it is. The deadline was 3 days ago, but I think he'll let you if you tell him Hypertexthero send you, and tell him, then he'll get mad at me instead of at you. Okay, and this is going to be to benefit Médecins Sans Frontières, Doctors Without Borders, excellent organization, from Paris, France to Dakar, Senegal. It's gonna be about 20-hour stream. I'm gonna leave it on autopilot and then take naps, come back. I think it's the deluxe or premium or whatever. All right, I'm gonna look at that, because if there is a Steam Gauges one, does it still have autopilot? I'm gonna check that out. We can check that in a little bit, but what I wanted to do before I forget here, what time is it? 11:16. Yeah, I'm gonna turn on Sim Toolkit Pro so we can do some landing rate guesses for whoever wants to do that. Whoa. I'll just leave this here for a second. Yep, there is there is an update. Let's do it. Then we'll have here you go, the Sim Toolkit Pro Twitch bot has joined, so we'll be able to get on the landing rate leaderboard if you want. I'll give you a link to your is that better or worse? I don't know. I'll give you a link to your Twitch or your website, whatever you prefer, if you get on that leaderboard. Where's that update? Let's see. Downloads. Quit. And let's update it. And while it's updating, we'll take a look at these two nice little airplanes here. Where do I put it? Let's leave it here. On the side, now the airplane is behind my head. When you put something smack in the middle, you know, okay, Metro, I gotta move. He's off, ladies and gentlemen. Oh! Whoa! Go. Good landing. An applause for Matrug, ladies and gentlemen. An applause for that takeoff. Look at that. Just slid off the hill there. If you'll make it clear those that airplane there, she loves to climb. She's not gonna have a big problem climbing up those hills there. All right, Elias, give me 1 second. Sorry, the prediction's not there yet because I was updated Sim Toolkit Pro. Let me restart it real quick. Quit, and then I'm gonna restart it, and then the prediction should work out. There you go. If you predict now it should work out. I don't think I even have to connect to the sim, but I'll do it for a good measure. Not gonna look at the patch notes right now, just gonna minimize it. Close that, come back here. And we're going to, let's switch to game capture. Let's see if that'll work, if game capture will work now. I just want to test this. Oh, there you go. Whoa! Where's the I want to be able to open these little windows. Can I open these little windows? Because I want to be able to hear Matrox sound passes. The cool thing about War Thunder is the sound. You can have a separate volume control for other player planes, so you can turn it up so you can hear from inside your cockpit. You know, even if it's not realistic to hear it, I like to hear it because you know it's not realistic to play the game. You're in a video game, for goodness sake. So give us sound so that we can give us highest sound so we can hear other players. All right. We're gonna find a place to land. I'm not sure where it's gonna be. I'm gonna go for takeoff flaps, and I'm gonna under the parking brake, full power, and we're off. Not a lot of rudder authority of this with this little DA40 here. Sinking quite fast. And here it comes, ladies and gentlemen, Matrog. Whoa! Don't sink. Okay, copy that, computer. All right, where should we head? Should we head back to just follow these mountains here? Let's go towards the gray one on the coast. Very pretty little terraces there. This is not rice terraces because we're in the West Africa here, so that's more a little bit more of a, I don't know, I've never been to this place, but it feels to me like a more Mediterranean type landscape. I don't know if they have olive trees there, but that's the kind of thing that we grow on those terraces. Maybe some potatoes. Speaking of which, going to Michigan, it was really nice. My partner Amber's dad is a farmer there, and so we got to go to the garden. We got to cut lettuce, get onions, fresh eggs, all that good stuff from farms, and cook at home a lot. And that was a pleasure. And Amber learned how to make. Well, she did a brand new bread with our sourdough starter, but we didn't have a Dutch oven, basically like a big metal pan that, like usually called a Le Creuset, that you put a lid on to put in the oven. So she just put the bread in the oven itself, turn it high, and the outside burned a little bit, but it was really good. The little bit of burned on the outside, it was just like 30-40 minutes of cooking time. It really gave a nice umami, a nice accent to the sourdough bread that we were making. And that's some of the food news. When I go to Michigan, there's a lot of cooking at home, but then there's going out too, you know. So I have both. I experience you know, the burgers and fries, and I experience the fresh food. At the distance, the blue mountains in the distance, of the atmosphere between us and those mountains, make everything turn blue. Mitra gonna be following from back there. I'm going to I wanted to see what this coastline looks like. I've never been to Fuerteventura. I had a friend who I didn't meet for a long time, years ago, who used to tell me about this island, who used to go to this island a lot. And so I have heard of it, but I've never traveled to it. Do I like crispy food? I love crispy food. I like a combination of crispy and and soft, you know. So this bread that I'm talking about, the outside was crispy and a little burnt, and the inside was nice and soft and moist. Like the sourdough is a high hydration sourdough. So it's a lovely combination of a sudden crisp bite and a slightly burnt taste. Very slight, because just the outer texture. And with a very moist inside, you know. Well, it looks like a waterfall there, wow. Or probably just the waves hitting it hard, you know. This is the island from Tourist Bus Simulator? There's a Tourist Bus Simulator? That is amazing. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Spent a couple of weeks in Fuerteventura once. Oh, awesome. Like holiday? I would love to go to the Canary Islands. I also want to go to Cabo Verde. Cape Verde. I know someone who lives there. Friend of my mom's. Yeah, it's crazy, you know, these islands, and we're here. Look, let's see if I can show it to you in this thing. Look at that RPM. This airplane is like really... Oh, he's talking to Binter214, not to me, okay. Thank you, Timmy. Alright. Elias, if you want to predict again to get in this thing, you're going to have to predict again. Sorry if you're... Because the Centuke Pro wasn't on yet. So let's land somewhere. I'm not going to necessarily land on a runway, but I'll do a landing. Let's see. Let's see, what have we got out here? I'm just going to turn this on. Oh, there's only these two airfields in Fuerteventura. There's LEBK, and there's let's head back to LEBK and let's land over there, okay? Unless on the way we find something else. That's about what, 100? Is it about 100, 110 degrees? But yeah, no nasty surprises so far of this airplane. Look at that, perfectly balanced now. I'll turn on that fuel transfer soon. But no nasty surprises. I am curious about... Oh, I had forgotten my takeoff flaps down. But I am curious about the lack of a mixture if it's all automatic. Because I'm going to have to... thank you, Liz, for the guess. And for Timmy. I'm going to have to take a look at my... keep an eye on my fuel for these flights, and I'm gonna have to do the flight planning. Maybe we're gonna do that after lunch today. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. But we're gonna use this thing called the little nav map for the flight planning for this Paris-Dakar race, and we're gonna have to see with this airplane if I use this airplane. I'm pretty sure I will, because I told I don't want to bug CDL too much. I was already late signing up. I don't want to tell them, oh, I want to choose a different airplane now. But if I can get one of steam gauges, I would prefer that. So I'm going to look into that. I'll see how much it costs, and maybe I'll get it. It's a little silly that Microsoft doesn't... If I want to buy the deluxe version now, I have to pay the full price for the deluxe version. I don't think there's a way to get just pay the difference, and I have to buy either the individual planes or the deluxe, which is, you know, a little odd, but that seems to be the case. I haven't found a way to upgrade to from the standard to the deluxe for a lower price. Some nice bossa nova, courtesy of Giorgio Di Campo, coming at you from YouTube over here. When we end the stream, we will see a link on the credits to this Italian gentleman who provides music for people who wants to use it, as long as you provide the credit. Get a feeling the Steam Gauge version doesn't have autopilot. Oh dear, yeah, that'll be tricky though, because I'm probably gonna do one of those races without autopilot, using like the big airplane, like a fast airplane, like the Pit Special. It's gonna be crazy, you know. But for this one, I want to have one of autopilot, so I don't know. And I can't use the BN2 Islander because you can't use mods, unfortunately, right now. You know. And you can't use two engine airplanes. Is it still full price you upgraded in the marketplace? Last I heard it was, but I haven't looked at it for a while. I'll take a look. We got Urban Bobcat 1806 out there too. Quite a bit of turbulence throwing this little, almost looks like a toy airplane, this thing, around here. Where's that airfield? It's out here somewhere. Let's take a look. We're headed right to it. A lot of nice airplanes coming out for this game. There's both like free mods that people give out for free that are based on earlier Microsoft Flight Sim airplanes, and paid ones that are small general aviation or agricultural airplanes. There's one called an Ipanema, you know, not the beach in Brazil, maybe named after the beach, which was named after native. Is a native a Brazilian name, and that's a cool little airplane that I'll probably get. Very, very small, and it looks also like a little toy, and it's an agricultural airplane to spray crops and stuff like that. Alright, let's get... I don't think there's a traffic control, air traffic control tower in this thing, but let's... Aerodomo del Giarde, Lima Echo Bravo Kilo. Select runway for landing. I don't even have to do this because I don't think there's a tower, so if there was a tower... Okay, there's Matrock. Yeah, I'm just going to follow Matrock again. I'm just going to put the landing flaps down. I'm going to turn on the auxiliary fuel pumps, which I should have done, just like in the BN2 Islander that I forgot to do when we were landing on that mountain. And we're just going to observe Matrock's approach here and follow him in. Wildcray's getting in here with a 210 prediction, negative 210 feet per minute in this landing rate prediction as well. Thanks for that. If you want to join in, now would be the time to do it, and this is how you do it. There's a link explaining how to get into this landing rate reader board. There will be prizes. They're not set up yet. It's probably going to be a t-shirt eventually, monthly. Alright, runway 03, we're coming in. Matrock's gonna have to clear the runway really fast because I'm coming right behind him. I might have to turn around, but to simulate, you know, I want to simulate there being look at that, here he goes. Here he goes. Very short runway. Very nice touchdown there. Here comes mine. I think I'm gonna go, okay. Hey, and Timmy with the negative 80. An applause, ladies and gentlemen. An applause for Timmy Fun. Whoa, there's a Spitfire parked here. Look at that. Timmy climbing back up on the leaderboard. Thank you for all the guesses. Yeah, for these planes, quite a bit of runway, right? But look at those windsocks. It's like a 25 knot wind here. I learned from Icebird, one of my last streams, that each one of those bars, like the red and white bar on the landing, is about 5 knots. So if you've got 5 of them, 5 times 5, that's 25. That's 25 knots right there. All right, let me put on the parking brake on this thing. Let's go to the outside view and let me update the landing rate reader board before I forget. And we'll get a view here of what's going on in the runway. Leave it right there. And let me go update that landing rate leaderboard. Timmy Thumb now has 13. He's still remaining in 3rd place behind Sheepa and Icebird for all there. No METAR available. Yeah. Should we take a look at SimToolkit Pro? Maybe it'll give us a METAR for this place. How about I take a little break here and I show you little nav map, okay? If you're not familiar with little nav map, this is what it's a totally free application. I've donated like 30, 40 bucks, I forget, but I donated because I like supporting, especially when I can afford to. I love supporting people that make stuff for free, you know, for other people. So let's take a look at a little nav map, see if they'll give us a METAR for this. So it's been a while since I fired that up, and this means I'm gonna have to turn on game capture and put back display capture here. Oh, there's an update available. Remind me later, I think, because bug fixes. Okay. Okay, download in web browser. That's fine. I'll save it so I don't forget, but I'll just remind me later, I'll say. Alright, and look at that. I didn't even do anything. I just turned on little nav map. I probably had connected to Microsoft Flight Simulator before, but maybe not. It already knows where I am. It's already put me and it's showing. Look at that. It's showing Binter over here. It's showing a Spitfire. It's showing all the airplanes. Just I haven't done anything. Look at that. Does it show Matrog? Is Matrog out there still? Hey Dom, how's it going? Good to see you, man. I have to, let me put that on the to-do list. T-shirt to Dom. I'm setting up my t-shirt store. It's gonna be done by the end of this week, and then I'll send you a t-shirt, Dom. Because I had to leave Teespring because it wouldn't work anymore. Like they updated the website, and this thing I had worked a long time on to set up a bunch of stuff with t-shirts. Just wouldn't work anymore. I didn't want to do it all again, so I'm just gonna use a different service because I like to keep trying different t-shirt services, try to find the best quality. Worth getting the Google Maps plugin for a little nav map. Oh yeah, there's a Google Maps plugin. Oh, okay, that sounds good. Let me put that on the list of things to do. Here's the list of things to do. It's a lot. There's a lot to do. I've been gone in Michigan for just over a week. Google Maps plugin for little nav map. Let's do it. Is that a plugin that has something other than image layers? I have that. If you Google Maps little nav map, you'll find it. Okay, I'll take a look. Let's take a look at little nav map. We're in Aerodromo del Giattarde. I think the METAR here we go. Right here. Oh no, this is Old Sarum. How do I... Let me go... File, new flight plan, okay. And airport... I don't know how to use this very well, okay. So I'm gonna go like that, and I'm gonna... as departure. Alright. How do I change this here? For the weather. Hover over the airport icon, okay. Oh, there you go. Elevation, magnetic pressure, okay. Runway. Oh, here you go. I just hovered over it and it worked. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Wild Craze. Alright, here we go. And here's the wind. 23 knots from 15 degrees. Okay. Let's take a look at back if that looks right. So there's the windsock. There's the windsock. Here's our heading. Yeah, it looks about right because we're about 128 and at 150, not 15, 150. It looks about right, and that looks like about, yeah, almost each one of those things are here. Let's go take a look. Each one of these stripes on this windsock is 5 knots. So it's at 23 knots. That full sock's 25 knots. So 5, 10, 15, 20. Not complete, about 23. Isn't that cool? So you can see real world information. We're flying with live weather here. And here comes mid-truck of a Stearman. Nice. Fantastic. So this here, ladies and gentlemen, is what we're going to be using to plan our flight from Paris to Dakar. Okay, I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to do a couple more flights here with Matron. But basically, eventually, we're going to be planning a flight from Paris here all the way down to Dakar over here. For Médecins Sans Frontières, Doctors Without Borders will be for charity. It's going to be about 20-hour, probably more stream because, you know, I'm an amateur, so I'm probably going to make some mistakes. And so we're going to come down from... can I clear that? I'm going to come down from... I forgot how to clear that, but we'll just forget it. I'm going to come down from France, over the Pyrenees, through Spain, over Gibraltar probably. I'm going to probably follow the coast here and land in airfields around Morocco, Mauritania, all sorts of places. I hear someone taking off. And there he goes. There's Matrox with the PT-17 Stearman. Beautiful airplane. I have that. That's why you can see it in flying that we flew this together before. World War II fighter pilot trainer. I'm gonna do another takeoff and fly it around here and then land again. Make sure that I know how to fly with this thing still. And as I'm flying, we'll hover over to little nav map and see how it tracks your airplane. Okay, so Control B to get the brakes off. Let's power up this aircraft. Oh, just do it like that. It's a differential braking. And that's the thing about airplanes. You have to think about wind, you have to think about weather. I love wind, I love weather. And it makes me feel alive. Look at this guy, these people are just driving through the runway here. It makes me feel alive, it makes me feel like excited in the real world, and I love video games that simulate wind and weather. Not many, but Microsoft Flight Simulator is one of them. Arma is one if you like shooters. It does simulate wind for the ballistics if you have the Ace mod. IL-2 Sturmovik simulates wind. And here comes, ladies and gentlemen, Matrog with a PT-17 Stearman. That's a hard thing to stop, that airplane. It doesn't want to hear. Just a touch and go. Yeah, it's a difficult one to stop. It's quite heavy for a biplane, I think. I think that's a Bonanza over there. And here we go. Let's take off. Strong wind, so it's not going to be long. That's probably why these runways are so short, because it's an island. There's the Atlantic Ocean out there. Strong wind most of the time. And we're off. Flaps up. Takeoff flaps up. I didn't probably even need the flaps. And let's switch the music up a little bit here. Let's go to some lo-fi now, because I don't want to fall asleep with the elevator music that turned into. Alright. I haven't painted this yet because that's the first time I get in this airplane today. But even with the if I do a livery for it, it won't show up during the race because you're not allowed to use liveries because they I think by the way libraries are working in Microsoft Flight Simulator now is if you're using a custom library, you can also use modify the airplane, make it go faster, like edit the airplane files. And obviously they don't want anyone cheating by doing that, so they just basically say you can't use any libraries, anything that modifies the the default airplane at all. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to have some custom painted libraries. It would be nice for races, especially racing. That's like Diamond DA40 was seeing a little earlier. Just painting his F-14 models. It's one of the fun things with airplanes is have the different colors, different. Yeah, let's get low here and fly low of Matron. I'm gonna form up on you, Matron. Do a little scissors and get behind you. Watch out! Oh, shit! Flying from outside view can be dangerous. Follow this road to wherever it goes. What's the top speed of the PT-17? I'm not sure how many knots that thing does. Let's see if we can keep up here. So as you're flying here, little nav map will keep track of your position. So it's a really wonderful piece of software. It can connect to various different flight simulators. I mean, you can even use it for real flight planning, I think, but obviously you wouldn't. I don't know if you want to file that, but. I love seeing the shadow of airplanes as they fly low. And this is where general aviation airplanes, why I love them, is because you can fly really low. You see so many things, you know. With the jets up at 30,000 feet, it can be beautiful in its own way, but you just don't see all this other, like the houses, the bushes, the roads, the features of the landscape. So I like being at these heights. Very nice. A more agile airplane Matrix flying. It has those two wings. Very agile biplane. PT-17 Sturman. A good buy in my opinion. I think it cost like 15, 17 bucks or something. This is what the World War II, the American and Canadian pilots, a lot of different countries trained in World War II before they became a fighter pilot. And the transition to the Texan and another one I forget, and then to the P-40, and then onto flight duties. Yeah, up close and personal the scenery. Do you play DCS Wild Craze? The Hind looks pretty good in DCS, and that Syria map looks amazing. I was thinking about getting that while it's on the sale still. Very cool. I don't think it models wires, right? So we can ride through it. It's like GTA, we'll fly like right through it. Naspers discuss Alexa innovation where I don't get shut down. Copy that. Oh yeah, that's right. You did mention that. I like the military one, P versus C. If I play with not against other people, but I like playing with friends against AI. I think that's fun, and that's where I started my flight simulator career, was Falcon, original Falcon Spectrum Holobyte. So I do have a soft spot for shooters in the sky, for combat flight sims. Oh, go a little bit over. I have DCS, one or two ads. I think we never gotten into it. Yeah, it's complicated, right? I'm gonna get into it now because there's this promotion that you can try any plane for free for 2 weeks, every 6 months, which is cool. So I'm probably gonna fire up, and there's some planes that are there's a yak there as a trainer. It's not a doesn't have guns, you know. So So that could be interesting if they did missions for cargo and stuff like that. I don't know if there's anything available for that in online servers. But also another thing is Flight Simulator just gives you the whole world, you know, which is such a... It's hard to beat. This is pretty responsive, the throttle in this Diamond DA40-NG airplane. Like when I put power off, it slows down pretty fast, which makes formation flying quite pleasant with it. Alright, if you pick a place to land, what time is it? It's 11:48, got a few minutes left. And I'm gonna have lunch here and I have a bunch of other stuff to do, but maybe let's go land at where that airplane is come. What is that airplane? Is that Fuerteventura Airport? Maybe let's head over there. Oh, now I hear your airplane. Nice. Beautiful. Oh! I'm not gonna have to follow you on that. Oh! What a cool airplane. I love that. I love that the metal livery as well. I think I'm gonna, once I play with my Stearman more, I'm gonna change my livery to the metal one as well. Yeah, there's a plane coming into or low on the ground there. Maybe it landed on the water. Where are we? Okay, there we go. Fuerteventura, I think, International. So I'm gonna go and land there. And I'm gonna call this a stream once we land over there. And I'll be back at 2 p.m. Eastern. Probably something different than Microsoft Flight Simulator for a little change. I was very kindly received a gift from a friend of the stream here, Galaxia Cat. Sending me a gift, and that was very kind. And I'm going to probably be streaming some Prey. It's a shooter that I've always wanted to play. I never played it. It's a bit of a homage to System Shock. I think one of my favorite sort of mystery shooters, if you will, like a sort of sci-fi games. I think I'm gonna be streaming that afternoons. I'm gonna try it and see how it goes. But we're gonna stick with flight simulators today after lunch here at 2 p.m. Either War Thunder, Altus Thermovik, DCS, maybe back to Microsoft Flight Sim. Continue practicing with this Diamond aircraft DA40-NG cross between a glider and who knows what else. Alright, let's tell them we're gonna land. Fuerteventura Tower. This is Hypertexthero. Oh, it's a heavy over there, okay. Air traffic control. Request full stop landing.
Ventura Tower, Hypertexthero 1 is 3 miles southwest, 500 feet with Victor to land.
Hypertexthero 1 from Ventura Tower. Altimeter 30.06, wind 015 at tree 9.
Thanks for the guess, Wild Chris.
Right base runway 01.
Alright.
01, follow the aircraft on the runway. Wind 015 at tree 9er. Cleared to land runway 01.
I'll follow the aircraft on the runway, alright.
2710.
That's cool.
Exit runway when able.
Clear to land runway 01, Hypertexthero 1.
Alright, here you go. Landing, I'm gonna put the flaps all the way down to landing. We're gonna try to touch down. We have a negative 72 feet here from Wild Craze. Thank you. And we have a helicopter flying in here in New York City. I'm listening to it outside the window, pretty low. What's that? Okay, I better not look out the window. I better look into where I'm gonna land here. Here comes Matrock following close behind. Hopefully the sound's been okay during this stream. I'm gonna do some more tests afterwards. if something is too loud or too low, or you would like it to change, feel free to let me know, and I will do my best to make it sound as nice as possible. Oh, go around. Okay. Okay, they gotta go around because that plane, the DLH2710, is still on the runway. There's a heavy there that's not exiting the runway. Acknowledge go around.
Around to Hypertexthero 1.
Hypertexthero 1, follow the aircraft on the runway. Wind 015 at tree 9er.
Guess I'll wait till that thing leaves the runway. All right, now they're telling me clear to land, so let's go back and do it again.
Hypertexthero 1.
Matrox going in. Let's see if we can observe his landing. Great visibility, this Diamond aircraft, DA40 dash. It's not a dash.
Heavy contact ground on 121.7.
There he is. Can't even see him from this distance. The airplane's not rendering for some reason. There it is.
Going to 121.7.
I remember in Lisbon, aircraft and runway was stuck and didn't find its way to leave. Really, like they couldn't find the taxiway. Wow. Okay, flaps down again, and let's not. I think I forgot that on actually. The fuel pumps have been on all this time, so whatever. I'll turn on the fuel transfer pump on too because there's more fuel on the left now than on the right and on the left, so we have to turn that on to keep the airplane balanced. That was in real life. Were you circling, or were you on the ground, or were you circling to land and you had to keep going around? Okay, Delta Lima Hotel 2710 found their way out of the runway finally. Oh, in Microsoft Flight Simulator? Okay. Looked like some flaw in logic where two runways intersected. Copy that. Yeah, it's an interesting thing to play these video games also when you're familiar with programming and stuff, because you can see where, you know, things where things may go wrong. Make sure I'm clearing the runway now. Strong wind here. I'm just gonna get a little closer to the taxiway. Just gliding it in here. Hey, and wild craze.
Hypertexthero 1, turn next taxiway.
Literally and figuratively. That's alright. I decided a little while back that if there's only one landing regress, hey, you took the time to do that, you're the winner. Let me acknowledge that. Oh, I don't even have to acknowledge. I'm just gonna turn off right here and go park by that windsock. And then I'll update the landing rate. Alright. Acknowledge that ground handoff. Let's get close to this windsock here and we'll park over here. I'm just gonna park right under this windsock. A very excitable guy, okay.
Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway Bravo Hypertexthero 1.
Alright. We'll leave it here. Fuel transfer off. Auxiliary fuel pumps off. Engine off, I think. I'll click continue so we can see what's going on out here from behind the airplane. And let's go update the landing rate leaderboard. It has been a pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. I am gonna make the credits roll right now, the outro, and let me make sure that the game capture is on with the outro. Here we go. And I'll pause it let's see, let's leave it around there. Oh. This doesn't happen just because of me, this happens because of you. Thank you for being here. Special thanks here for Wild Craze for this the raid coming in. Go check out his channel. It has Microsoft Flight Simulator stuff. It has other games as well. And he is now past. Wild Craze starts with W, so he was in the bottom of the landing rate leaderboard there. But now he has 2. He gets up there. He's starting to go up there. Let me update that. Have a smashing afternoon. Thanks so much, Wild Craze. You have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks so much for the raid. Thank you for being here, everyone. I will be back in a couple of hours. I'm probably gonna be streaming more these days because I'm by myself here for a week in New York, Amber State, in Michigan for another week to help her dad. And so we may have some long late night streams as well. Maybe even some longer early morning ones. Let's see what happens. If you have any suggestions or anything you'd like to see, feel free to send me a message. Always happy to do my best to make your day better. Thanks, Elias. 1, 2, the boss. Look at that. Better take the shirt and this tie off, huh? It's hot as hell in New York City. Not as hot as the West Coast, but we're gonna get there. This is Hypertexthero, getting out of hyperspace. Have a great day. Peace out for now. Oh, actually, no, not peace out for now. Almost forgot. We're gonna raid. Let's go see who's out there. Who, ladies and gentlemen, is out there today? Let's take a look. Let's take a look around here. Let me put this, let's do it like this. Let's go to, I'm just gonna have to do it without showing you right now because I think I broke something with my outro view here. So if you have any suggestions of a streamer you like who's streaming right now that you want to raid. Oh, should go say hi to the Flying Fabio. He raided me last. He's flying a DC-6. Let's go. Oh, he's all right. He's taking a break. He's flying a Swiss Air DC-6. Oh wow, and has F4U behind him. Okay, well he's not there right now, so let's raid someone else. I have raided him back, which is awesome. We have who's this? B Mint. Oh, okay. Yeah, I had seen her before. Let's see who else is there. Oh no, that's Sim Caesar. He's offline. Let's see who's down there a little bit lower on the Microsoft Flight Simulator play. So we can give him some, we can show him some love. 1 second. This is interesting. Pussy, okay, that's in German. I'm gonna stick with English. Wild Human, let's see. Not sure if that's general aviation. I'd like to stick with general aviation. Not always, but Bilbao Burgers, that's Spanish. Yeah, not too much going on, so I'm gonna... Whoa. Shadow Chevy. Long haul A32N. Okay, let's just stick with... let's drop by and say hi to B Mint, okay? Here comes the raid. I'm gonna go say hi to B Mint. How did you do it again? Raid. I'm so out of touch here. Let's see. Channel standard for mature answers. That's why I'm feeling pretty mature. Today, at least. Raiding now. Have a wonderful afternoon, everybody. Peace out.
You know what also